Hey guys, what's going on? RDM2120. I'm here with Kyle and Reese, and me being Clint. So we're gonna do a discussion on the actual September 2013 TCG Forbidden Limited list, which everybody has a love-hate relationship with because of whatever deck they were playing. E-Dragon players hate it. Hero players kind of hate it because Stratos.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Banned are all 4 baby dragons.
They kind of deserved it.
They made
It's
the reason the deck was so stupid. So yeah.
And they can still be used as mono attributes. The
Screw
big dragons,
them.
anyway, can be used as mono attribute support.
People were saying hit the big dragons and the baby dragons. No, the baby dragons were what made the deck. It's the deck, and Super Rejuve and card destruction being gone is helpful. Alright, here's the card that everybody doesn't understand why, but apparently Kyle knows why, so we'll let him try.
I don't know for sure why, but like if you look at Spirit, when Spirit got hit, like it looks like Konami's just trying to hit loops. They're trying to make the game slow down. Like you actually have to like think of what you're playing and how you're gonna play your cards. And Stratos just forms a lot of loops with E-Heroes. Like he forms a loop with the Shining where you make the Shining with him and a light, and then he gets banished, and then when Shining dies, you get back your Stratos and your light, you play Stratos, you end up getting even more cards throughout the game with him. He's a spammable searcher. You can get it straight from the deck with the emergency call or a hero lives, which they gave back.
Both at 3, but it doesn't matter. They lost the card they searched for anyway.
They lost
so.
Stratos, but that's what I think is why Stratos got hit.
Alright, so next up is card destruction. This card was stupid through and through. It helped Dark Worlds and it made dragons even dumber.
So won Worlds.
Yeah, basically. The guy, he didn't even main deck it, he side decked it game 2, drew it, card destruction into Blaster. Bastard Burner popped, summon, went for game, which was, I knew that moment, card destruction gone. And plus, this card was just even dumber, well, just as dumb as in Dark Worlds. So,
Gateway of the 6. People are kind of raging about why this card got hit, and it's almost all the 6 Sam players. First off, 6 Samurai players, like,
they can't complain.
It's not, hold on, it's not that big of a deal. To be completely honest, you kind of only opened it up anyway, like 1 out of every 10 games, because it was limited. Yeah. But another thing about it like this: Dragons lost Future Fusion, Dark Worlds lost Card Destruction, like all these spellbooks.
3-Axis lost Spirit.
Well, it's at 1. Spellbook of Judgment got banned. Why should 6 Samurai have their auto win button when every other deck is starting to lose theirs?
Yeah.
It's also an unbalanced card. It creates retarded loops.
Lost Stratos.
And after that, they don't even need it like after like turn 1 anymore. Like because
they're already set up.
You're gonna end the board with a Beast, a Barkion, and a Shien anyway. Like nothing is getting past that. So yeah, in my opinion, that's a good hit. It's just slowing down the format and making Sam's not retarded.
Yeah.
And up next, we've got Heavy Storm.
There's no reason for this card to be banned.
Heavy Storm is the only card on...
Good for you, Konami.
Heavy Storm is the only card on this list that I was kind of like... This is kind of weird.
Come back.
See, the thing is, no, next format is coming back. They can't leave Heavy Storm banned.
They can't ban
for 2 formats.
Back row removal and not give 1 back. Like True Nade and Cold Wave are still banned. So.
Exactly.
Cold Wave can't be back.
Cold Wave can't come back, but they didn't bring back.
True Nade can't come back. This is coming back next format. Heavy Storm either this or they're releasing a new version in one of the next sets before December. Because this card is needed for the game. Also, sure, it's an OTK enabler, but it helped kept the game in check. Yeah.
And another thing, people are stating, well, there's not as much generic back row. There's still a fuck ton of generic back row. You have 2 Mirror Force, 2 Deep Prisons, Compulse, a Bottomless. There's 3 regular Trap Hole if you want to run those, because if the format's going to slow down, normal summons are going to be more prevalent. You've got 3 Fiendish Chain. You've got 3 Breakthrough Skill.
1 Torrential.
You've got your 1 Torrential. there's still a lot of back row you can run, and that's not even like talking about like archetype specific back row. That's just generic stuff. Then you've also got like the quick play spells, like the forbidden cards, Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Dress, and Forbidden Chalice. You've still got those. You've still got Book of Moon. There's still a lot of generic
back row
cards in the game. Hitting Heavy Storm just helps this set 5 back row format grow even farther.
Like they got rid of a few cards that were easily replaceable, sort of. So next up, Monster Reborn. Nobody liked this card, but everybody ran it anyway.
Because it's good.
Everyone loved it, but
everyone likes it.
Love-hate relationship.
Everyone, you like it when you use it, but you hate it when your opponent uses it.
Yeah, it's the kind of card
the thing
where
is,
it got hit, but no deck. Like, it wasn't really doing anything for the game besides winning games. Like, it wasn't like Heavy Storm, where it was keeping the amount of back row you played in check. Like, Monster Reborn made overextending even less of a fear. It's like, oh, if I overextend, I can just reborn back a key piece and try again next turn.
But the thing is, with this Monster Reborn, it's always banned, and then it comes back after a few formats, and then everybody wants it, and everybody misses it, and then people get mad at Konami. Like, see, everybody hated Konami for this list, but at the same time, Konami did what everybody wanted. Nobody liked Heavy, and nobody liked Reborn when they had it used on them. Well, they got rid of it, and now you're all complaining again. So be careful what you wish for, because you're not gonna like it anyway. Finally, Pot of Avarice. This card should never been made, but this card was just broken in most decks. It was bad early game, but just if you stalled out long enough, it would just allow you to do what's that plus called?
It's a +1, and it recycles your resources.
So right now you have Daigusto Emerald that does this, and you have Pot of Duplicity coming out, and nobody was gonna run Pot of Duplicity as long as this card was out. There's no reason for this card to be out anymore, because there are multiple ways of doing what this card does, and it's not as broken.
Up next, Spellbook of Judgment shouldn't have been made. We're not gonna really talk
the fact that it was any spell card played as well as a quick play, which means it could be played during your opponent's turn, was stupid. If it was just spellbook spell cards and not a quick play, it would have been fine. It could have gone to 1. It didn't need to be banned. Spellbooks kind of needed a kind of a power card, sort of, to make the deck actually viable, but not this. This was just unnecessary, and it's never coming off the ban list, because as long as spellbooks are a thing, this thing is banned. Super Rejuve, pretty that they killed the deck this format. I mean, I've seen the Plant Dragon deck going around, but I don't think it's as good.
And they also messed up Dragon Exodia, but
Dragon Exodia.
Who plays that?
But then again,
a lot of people actually play it, but just on DN
and
Yu-Gi-Oh. Nobody likes playing Exodia. You play it because it's funny, and you make your opponent rage because you know they're raging. You just can't see them. So anyway, Super Rejuve, Banhammer hit on Dragons and Exodia, as well as I think Heretics as well, sort of.
I think it does hurt Heretics, because Heretics just tribute all the time.
Yeah.
So it does hurt them.
Yeah. Next up, Solemn Judgment.
Hitting generic back row.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, Solemn Judgment was a anti-everything, and if you used it at the right time,
it won game.
It won and late game. If my opponent, like if I have a full board or a really key card out and it's a grind game and I have 400 life points left, if my opponent's only out goes on the board,
Judgment,
and I have Judgment, that's perfect. I'm perfectly fine paying 200 life points for a free negation of anything in the game. Pretty much.
Also, the reason.
Okay.
Also, another explanation for why this card was banned. I was playing. I went 4-0 to locals today, and in the final match, each game that I won was because of Judgment, where I Judgmented a play that would have helped my opponent come back, and I Judgmented, and he had nothing, and a turn or two later he scooped because he had either 2 cards in hand or he just had no way of getting around my Pleiades or other things like that. Last ban card is Ultimate Offering.
It's an auto-win button for certain decks, and Konami doesn't really want auto-win buttons and loops in the game.
Yet they didn't hit Rekindling.
They didn't hit Rekindling, but then again, a lot of the decks that use it
aren't doing shit.
Aren't either doing shit or they got hit in a different way.
Yeah. Anyway, so auto-win buttons for gadgets, and also Madolce OTK, which I have no idea what it does, but I'm thinking it's like something with Mageline and something else.
Yeah, I heard
Anyway.
about that.
Dragoons.
Never played
Everybody
one
kept
of
telling me this card was
This
not
is
gonna.
limited, by the way.
Yeah, clearly limited in the top.
Just pointing it out.
Yeah. Anyway, no. Everybody kept telling me it's not gonna get hit. It was a structure deck card. It's not gonna get hit. Blah blah.
Well, it's hit.
You're wrong.
Got
This
hit.
card was the reason this deck was so stupid. This and Abyss Lind. I would have preferred if Abyss Lind as well got hit instead of Deep Sea Diva. You can have your Sphere. You can't have. I don't. Next ban list, they're hitting Lind. They have to. That card is stupid.
It's a free floater.
Exactly. It's
And-
It's anti-OTK plus you get a either 2400 beater or 2700 beater out that deal, or an Abyss Spike to pitch to destroy something on the field with marksman.
Marksman
Or
heavy infantry.
Heavy infantry. All right. So next up, fire 3-axis is dead.
That's enough said. Why they hit
4-axis.
4-axis or
It's
3-axis?
better.
Sorry, and it's
No.
and like before it even did anything.
Yeah.
Like they hit Rooster harder than if they actually hit Rooster itself. That's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
See,
to
the thing
say
is,
it like
nobody
that.
wants this stuff anyway because one Rooster is playable. One Spirit is not playable.
However, when you
People keep telling me, but you can make Lion Emperor and recycle. What are you making Lion Emperor with?
it's too slow.
Yeah.
But they did hit, and like the reason I think they hit Spirit over Rooster is because Spirit again creates a loop. While it's not a loop that happens during the same turn consistently, like say Gateway or something,
Yeah.
it's like Spellbook of Judgment where it just happens every turn. It doesn't matter what you do, you have to be prepared.
But the thing
to
is, this
deal with
has
it
so
again.
many outs to it. Baylor, Breakthrough,
I'm just
Max C to make your opponent think twice.
Again, I'm just stating why.
But the thing is that there's way too many outs.
Also, you can Max C a Spellbook of Judgment, so they don't want to special summon during the end phase.
But they're only giving up. They're only going 1-for-1. For this, you go +3 on Maxine.
Yeah,
No matter what, because they don't want to end
it's-
up with a
it's
dead
still a
spirit
point.
or a leopard spirit.
They wanted to hit loops.
Yeah.
They don't. Konami
Anyway,
doesn't like loops.
moving on. Deep Sea Diva to 1. I don't really think this card should have been hit. I think
it does hurt mermails a lot more than like when you just
I would have
look
preferred
at it.
Lind. Lind or Sphere. I would have preferred one of those, or even
I'm fine with the Diva hit.
I don't like
it does hurt their synchro capabilities, and it also just hurts their.
See, the thing
tutoring
is, if
off the
Trishula
bat.
comes back now, like in whatever next December, like we finally like they merged the two lists back together in December, because they are doing 4 lists of format now.
Three.
A year.
It's
Three?
3.
It's one every 4
From
months.
September
Every
to
4 months?
December.
Oh,
To
okay.
December 31st is.
Okay. Alright, whatever. I feel like they maybe the next format or the format after that they'll bring the two lists back together again. This was just people in the TCG were complaining like nobody's business. I don't know how it was in the OCG. Everybody just hated the fucking format. They're like, I'm quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so broken. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I hope you enjoy your set 5 format now. Yeah. Anyway, Gen X Ally Birdman hit because of the FTK.
with Harpy Dancer.
That's enough said. It's the only reason. And also Heretics abused the shit out of this card. Anyway, Rescue Rabbit. You're not playing a rabbit anymore. You're not playing a rabbit deck anymore. Kyle's playing Salamandra and his Evil Swarm
with Thunder King.
with Thunder King. Yeah.
I'm gonna test
so-
the Rabbit engine again, but I didn't like it at 1.
See, the thing is with my decks that ran rabbit, I only ran one rabbit anyway because I always drew it. And I'm lucky like that.
Also, the one rabbit, like, it's a Veiler and Max C magnet now, like,
Yeah.
even more so than it was before because
Yeah.
you only have one.
It's
Yeah,
cute.
exactly. So, anyway, TK to 1, I guess because they hit Judgment.
That,
They wanted to give spellbooks a little bit of breathing room, so they hit this card so they would be able to search. Plus, Thunder King set 5 is scary.
yeah, they're trying to, even though they got rid of heavy, if you'll when you'll see the rest of the limits and
Yeah.
semi limits later, they are trying to hurt stun format as well by hitting some of the
Yeah.
key cards to
But
make
the thing
stun,
is, they didn't hit it hard enough.
to make
so.
stun not as consistent as it would be. But I still personally think that the format, you're either going to be running an aggro deck or you're going to be running a stun deck.
Yeah, so next card. Kyle, you played
No idea.
Gishkis, so I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Neither do I, to be completely honest. It's probably some loop or something going on.
When was the last time Gishkis talked?
So
I don't think they ever.
they
have.
never topped. They always hit it preemptively because apparently it was doing some bullshit in the OCG. Let's just read the cannot be normal summoner set. Must first be ritual
Then
summon.
why wasn't
You can
it on the OCG?
You can only ritual summon this card by the effect of Gishki ritual spell card. When this card is ritual summon, target up to the top 5 cards in any graveyard. Shuffle those cards into that. I guess it was just recycling cards. So yeah, limited to 1.
It probably made some loop.
Yeah, probably.
Like Avarice.
Yeah. Anyway, DeLorean to 1.
now.
Hurt mermails, I guess, but sure. I don't really care.
This card's always moving around on ban lists.
Yeah,
like, sometimes
well,
it can't.
I don't think they ran more than 1.
It can't
anyway.
ever go to 3. If it goes to 3, everything is going to be running 3. Because Symbols of Heritage still exists.
Yeah, well.
You probably don't even know that.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
It was with the fish deck. You could
well, that fish deck is dead.
You would OTK the shit with that card, and you would OTK the hell out of your opponent with DeLorean and Symbols of Heritage.
Alright, next card, Plutonium 7, because of Dragonities and Heretics abusing the shit out of it. Now Constellars get to use it and use it to the full ability because we only ran 1 anyway. You don't run 3 and you don't run 2. Some people are running 2. I say fuck you because that's stupid. You can use that space for something else. Yeah. Anyway, Dimensional Fisher.
I don't like that card.
He plays Fire Kings. I don't like this. Like, to be honest, I never played it.
I like this.
And I never played it in a format where this thing was a good side deck card. So
I like this hit. I'm fine with it.
It's fine, I guess, to 1. It just means more Dark World players, which is something I really hate. I don't like Dark Worlds at all. Like it's not more so the deck, well the deck too, but it's just the people that play
Do you
it.
have an Abyss Dweller?
I gave it to him.
Then you just got shafted because that card poops on Dark Worlds.
It's fine. I'll just get one for $12. I'll find some little kid one. Anyway, Gold Sark.
Just sounds like a douchebag. Shuts up immediately.
Gold Sark to 1.
Rips off a little kid for Nulty Star Eater to a super rare.
Shut up.
Shockmaster.
Shut up. Shut up. Anyway, so Gold Sark to 1 shits on dragons, and it still leaves it playable for other decks. Because this card is actually playable in other decks.
It searches anything
Royal,
you want. Just gives it back to you in 2 turns.
I played this in Teledad and it helped search Dad or something else. So, yeah, Royal Tribute.
That card stole games, and it's a stupidly designed card.
Yeah.
Like
that card's the low.
if you control, like,
card.
if
I don't play
like, yeah, you have to have a Necro Valley on your side.
Oh, that's not that hard though. So
Grave Keepers, you could like.
And
I know people.
Card. I forget what it's called.
I know some people who were side decking this if they side deck Necro Valley just because it was funny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Win the games. Like they'd summon their field, play Necro Valley, and then Royal Tribute.
Basically. Anyway, next card. Bottomless to 1. Just generic traps have been hit.
Again,
this thing was at 2 and everybody ran it at 2. Now everybody will run it at 1. We're just gonna zoom past these because we've already talked enough about these where it's just they wanted to get rid of stun format. So 1 bottomless, 1 compulse. I love this card.
This one makes
it sucks that it's gone, but you know whatever. I have my Pleiades.
I have a very important thing to say here, and I also mentioned it in my Evil Swarm thing. This is pushing Exceedon Core because also you got to remember in a set 5 format, Exceedon Core is amazing. It cannot be negated by anything. And you can't activate anything in response to it.
Why are you gone?
It's it's also gonna hurt things like Constellars and Evil Swarms and stuff like that.
Anyway, next card. Whoops. Eradicator Epidemic. This is pushing spellbooks a little bit since they neutered the shit out of it. Now it's just a searcher that summons Priestess, but now that can't do shit against Ophion. So.
Also, Eradicators. Like it messes with your opponent's hand.
Yeah, you get
I think personally, if Deck Devastation Virus does a lot in the upcoming format for whatever reason,
it'll get limited.
Limited as well because cards like that mess with your opponent's hand
never stay around too long. Also, so anyway, Macrocosmos.
I'm fine with this one too.
Macrocosmos was a good card.
It was good, and
I'm fine with this.
It was a perfect side deck card. Before last September format. Like March 2012 was
a lot of decks could run it.
Also, yeah, that too. It hurt Inzectors a few formats ago. It hurt Chaos Dragons. Hurt Chaos Agents. I'm pretty sure as well.
Hurt anything that used the graveyard.
Yeah, basically.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Like most decks right now use the graveyard in some form or way. So
Yeah.
Mine uses the graveyard.
So, but also Macrocosmos can't be run because again, most decks do use the graveyard a lot, and they can't put macro in it. Like I put Dimensional Fissure in my Fire Fist 4-axis a while back in the side deck because Gorilla wouldn't get his effect, but you just need to pop shit with Bear in order to do stuff. So, Dimensional Fissure just lets monsters get banished and spells just go to the graveyard.
Also, the decks that could use macro, they were usually Exceed-based decks like Macro Rabbit, and stuff, and Evil Swarms back before Krikion came out. And those decks didn't really care because the materials don't count. In terms of Dimensional Fissure, not macro, the materials don't count as monsters, so they go to the grave. But even with macro, like decks like Macro Rabbit, pretty sure they ran DDR, and they also had Tour Guide to go into Leviair to get back their banished rabbits, to get back their banished
basically,
whatever.
Anyway, Soul Drain to 1. I'm guessing this is something to help push Bujin a little bit, as well as
zombies.
helping and zombies too. Yeah, that's true because Mizuki and Plague Spreader and stuff. So Soul Drain to 1. This just gives this is just giving Dark Worlds players just more initiative to play the deck, and I don't like that. They could have put it to 2, but then everybody did run it at 2. So I don't know. I just don't like that. Torrential to 1.
Generic trap hate.
Yeah, so we're just going on. Mizuki to 2. Everybody wanted this card to come back to 2.
I love this card.
Everybody,
amazing.
This is fine. The semi-limited cards are all fine. Reasonable and acceptable.
And plus, they want to push the vampire cards coming out.
When they come out,
Plague Spreader for the same reason, just to push the vampires coming out. And plus, it wasn't doing shit at 1 anyway, and now Chaos Dragons have an extra tuner. Yay.
They're only gonna run 1.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, TG Striker finally.
Why was he even limited? He could be unlimited for all anyone cares.
Yeah. That TGs are not gonna do shit. Well, maybe they will now.
They might. TG agents
anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tanky to 2. I'm fine with this. If it got limited, and when it will get limited, because it will eventually, but by then I'm probably going to be playing something else. Tanky to 2 is fine. It just the thing that killed 3-axis for me that I will never play it again is that Spirit went to 1. I would have preferred Rooster to 1.
Rooster to 1 because
Rooster to 1 is playable. Spirit to 1 is not playable. And sure, you can find some way to make it work somehow. But like some guy at my locals is doing. He found some way to bring back his shit, but it's just not. It's not as good. It's not the same. It's not good enough. Next card, Dimensional Prison.
Who ran 3 deep prisons anyway?
No, this is just hit on back row.
Yeah, no one.
Because nobody was gonna run.
Well,
nobody was running deep prison at all.
Yeah.
Except for stun-based decks. Now this is back.
Now that heavy's hit, Deep Prison wasn't doing anything, so
But now it will be run at 2.
It couldn't really warrant that big of a hit, like to 1, just out of nowhere, because it wasn't really a played card. It wasn't side decked. It wasn't mained in any top decks. But because a lot of the big back row is hit, they don't want to, free up something or such a powerful card like Dimensional Prison, where they're just going to run it at 3, so they limited to 2. And the decks that did run it only ran it to 2, so at 2 anyway, and they would have probably not cared if it was at 3, because they just would have bumped it up to 3. Because of
we spent enough time on the generic traps. It's just they banned heavy, so they had to hit every other good trap. Anyway, you still have 3 Fiend Restraint, so it doesn't matter. Malicious to 3, this is just giving Malicious back, because it's not going to do anything. Because what decks was it running? Teledad and...
Dragon?
No.
Wasn't it running Chaos Dragon?
No.
No, it was running some other deck.
It was running... what was it? Dark Arm Return?
It was something...
But those decks are long gone, so...
Destiny Hero. And another thing is, the Stratos is gone, and what people would do is they'd use the Stratos to search the Malicious.
And then D-Draw.
Yeah,
so this back to 3 is fine. I mean, as a former Teledad player, like a few months ago, I played for like a month and a half or something, and I had fun playing it. I always wanted Malicious back at 3, but it's not going to do anything now that Stratos is gone. So Earth to 3, it wasn't doing anything. Now it might do something because the format's changed so much, so it might go back to 2. Who knows? I can see it because I see
Yeah,
agents
oh.
doing something. Anyway, so yeah. Whoops. Tsukiyomi to 3. Nobody cares. Let's move on. Hero lives to 3. Again,
Sure.
nobody cares enough to care about that because Stratos is gone and that's what you search
Stratos
for.
is gone, so all these heroes.
Watch somebody try and bring
suck.
back Air Neos OTK again.
Sure,
That'd be
I'm
funny.
pretty sure,
That'd be fucking
Black Beast
awesome.
used that.
I'd run that deck. I don't even care.
I would run Air Neos. I used to run that deck like on
DN shit.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro.
Yeah.
Just because it was fun. For any of you who don't know what Air Neos OTK is, you run a lot of cards to purposely get your life points low.
Yeah.
And then you go, like, your final play is usually using either Oversoul and Prisma, or you'd go a hero lives into Prisma and then normal summon another Prisma, and then you'd send the materials to make Neospatian. No, not Neospatian. The fusion card.
Air Neos.
Arnios. And he would get like ridiculous amounts of attacks.
Anyway,
over 10,000.
E-call to 3. Again,
Stratos is banned.
nobody gives a shit. The card it's searched for is gone. And what are we searching
They
now?
were
Neos Alias?
Sure.
Bubble Man? Sure. Okay, fine. I don't care. It doesn't do
They
shit.
killed the searcher that the searcher searched for, so they gave you the searcher back at 3.
Yeah, whatever. Black Whirlwind to 3. That's fine. Personally, I would have liked Whirlwind to 2 and Gale to 2 and just leave it at that. Never give them anything else.
I like Black Whirlwind to 3.
I don't like that
over that because it makes the deck better than if Gale went straight to 3. And now the reason.
Well, yeah, because you can't.
Is because they can play almost like a Bujin deck, but a slightly
better because you can get bigger monsters on board. Yeah.
What they can do is they can get bigger monsters on board easier. They have
an Armor Master is a bitch.
They have the ability to swarm, and another important thing is they can go something stupid like they play Black Roland, say summon Bora or Shura, search Kalut, and then they have 3 Icarus attacks.
Yeah.
Icarus attacks.
Anyway, moving on. Herodic Seal of Convocation. They just wanted to give this back to us, so they gave it back to us. It wasn't doing shit, so why not? Pot of Duality 3 wasn't doing anything, and now it's going to do something because the format's slow as fuck. So nobody's going to be special summoning that much because why would they?
Well, earlier on, no one's going to be doing a lot.
Yeah,
most special summoning and swarming is going to require more of a setup now.
Yeah. Anyway,
or you're only going to be able to do it once or twice before.
Duality's going back to 2 soon.
My favorite card on this list going to 3. Scapegoat. Next one.
Anybody think Goat Control is going to come back?
Sure. I have no idea what that is.
I didn't really play in the Goat Control format. Like, I kind of know about it, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how Goat Control would stand up to our current meta. It might do well. It might completely flop.
I have no idea what the fuck it's going to do. Scapegoat to 3 does nothing. People were saying Scapegoat in Mecha Beast. They don't. The Scapegoat tokens don't do shit in Mecha Beast.
No, it's a really bad idea to run. Run Fires of Doomsday if you're going to be running anything.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. So yeah.